Hello, I am Jill M. Jackson. Welcome to my July 2025 predictions and energy update. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am a natural born psychic medium. I am a trance channel, a prophetic psychic, a healer, a spiritual teacher, and a published author. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below. I am almost to my 4,444 subscribers, so please join me and help me reach that goal. And thank you to everyone who supports this channel. So I was going to record this Friday, and then I was going to record it yesterday, and I'm just recording it on July 1st because honestly, it is not a month that I have been looking forward to offering predictions and energy update for. And I find myself saying that quite a bit lately. I resist this with everything that I have inside of me. I have written a book on manifesting your magic in the quantum. I truly believe we can shift our reality, so I do not want to be someone who is responsible for creating more fear. But the way I've been doing my videos is the first part will be psychic predictions. And again, please join me in helping to shift that energy. Just because a psychic sees something does not mean that it is necessarily anchored in all the time. We can shift this energy. And then the last half, I talk about Spirit gives me words of the energy overall for the energy for July. So I'll do that for the last half of the video. I am also teaching in Lilydale, New York, which is about an hour from Buffalo. I will be teaching next Tuesday and Wednesday, July 8th and 9th. The 8th is an intuition course, and the 9th is spiritual alchemy. So please check those out. I'll drop the links below. If you're close to the area in New York, please join us. Lilydale is an amazing, amazing community of all mediums. You will love it there if you've never been. It is an experience, let me just say. We also have a beautiful high vibe tribe. I'll drop that link below as well. All right, let me jump right into the predictions of what I'm seeing for the month of July. The first one that I want to talk about is, and I am going to try to use as many code words. A lot of psychics are being targeted right now. Some of my colleagues have pulled their websites down. I know there's the news station, I'll just spell it, FOX, has recently tried to call out some of the 4 a.m. members and make fun of them and, make fun of us who are able to see true reality and what's going on. And so there's, we many of us have that energy imprint from past lives of being targeted and persecuted for our gifts. And so there's more of that coming back to the surface. I don't want to step into that fear energy, but at the same time, I do want to be protected. For now, my guides have said that it's still okay to post on YouTube, but I will be monitoring that as well. And also, before I get deeper into the predictions, honestly, if you don't resonate, if you think that Humpty Dumpty, which is Trump, is like the second coming of Christ, and you think he's a good guy, and this channel's honestly not for you, just don't even waste your energy and comment below. Honestly, you can find plenty of people out there that you resonate with. That's not me. I read energy. I'm able to see energy. And I'll talk about that more in the predictions to come. So let's get right into it. I do feel like there is a huge potential for an attack on U.S. soil, and this is something that I have been resisting. I have been offering intentions and prayers that it just simply not be true. And I'm feeling like it feels like an event similar to the 9/11 event. Again, I pray I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Please let this be wrong. And I don't want to cause fear, but I feel like I was given some cities, and I'm going to just list the cities. Again, if you happen to live in these cities or if you know someone that does, just tune in and ask your own guides about, going out in the month of July, be extra vigilant. So the cities that I'm feeling are highlighting for me are Chicago, Atlanta, New York, Los Angeles, either Houston or Dallas. I can't get full clarity. Miami, Denver, and Detroit. And again, I hope I'm wrong. So the other thing that I feel like it's something that's going to be popping off like multiple cities at once. It feels like explosions. But the other thing that I want to say is, and I want to say this in a way where I don't get targeted, the country that this will be blamed on is not responsible. That's not the country that's responsible for these attacks. If this does come to fruition, this is a design and a mechanism to feed the war machine that many times the U.S. and Israel are wanting to keep promoting. It's disgusting to even think about that, but the way that the billionaires make money on this planet is through wars. And when you look back in our history, you can see that, and that's the energy that we're in right now. So just be extra careful, bring energy, help me shift this. I'm not as concerned. I know some psychics and astrologers have seen the 4th of July. It could be that day. I feel energetically I'm more concerned between like the 7th and Spirit showing me like the 5th through the 9th. And then later in the month too, there's another around the 22nd, 21st, 22nd is what I'm being shown now. So if you don't have to fly around those times, and I'm going to be on a flight on the 7th, I have asked my own guides. I've been told that I'm safe. So again, tune into your own intuition. Your guides will steer you in the right direction. Use discernment. And then help me shift that energy to where it doesn't play out. But I am concerned, and I'm also concerned with attacks in the UK as well. I feel that is an issue. I want to talk now about the ongoing feud with Muskrat and Humpty Dumpty. As I predicted in the last few months, that is going to continue. I do see that continuing. I see it ramping up. I know that the energy in the last couple of days, it's been ramped up again. I don't see that going away. That is going to continue. It's two narcissists who are vying each other for control. They're both very, very low vibrational beings. And so they're playing out this energy of narcissism and, who can bring the other one down. However, I will say that I do feel that Muskrat is going to continue to expose deep secrets from Humpty Dumpty. I do see that coming. I feel like with Muskrat, he did have a soul with his original soul purpose. I do believe he's a hybrid. He was able to come and help humanity. I feel like he has gone into ego, sadly, and so I feel like he's actually working with dark forces at this point in time. But the polarity, the spiritual law of polarity, I do feel like he's going to bring some exposure to Humpty Dumpty and illuminate some things there. I'm just looking at my notes. Okay, I also feel that we need to be on the lookout for cyber attacks in the month of July. That's highlighting for me as well. Banking issues, possible power grid failures, especially in the United States. I'm feeling that energy. I'm also seeing a tremendous amount of water events. I feel like the hurricane season in the United States is going to be one of the worst on records. I just feel like there's a lot of water events. And I'm feeling for the hurricane season in 2025, I'm feeling 3 main, at least category 5. I'm feeling 2 in the Gulf and 1 on the East Coast. So if you live on the coastal areas, again, check in with your guides. If you're feeling led to move, you may want to listen to that guidance. I'm also feeling a tsunami. I wrote down, I'm feeling Japan, Thailand, and Indonesia. I don't feel the big one yet coming to California, even though I feel the United States is shifting. I'm not feeling that just yet. And I don't feel the new Madrid just yet either. Both of those feel later in the year going into 2026. But I do see more water events. I see more flooding in different areas that are not prone to flooding. I'm seeing freak floods continue around the world. I do see that continuing. Italy, I'm feeling the volcanic activity there. And I just heard Pele. Let me just ask. Yeah. So, there's several. I feel like there's quite a bit of volcanic activity that's going to increase. Weather events are going to continue to be erratic. They're going to continue to increase. I'm seeing an increase in wind events. Let's see what else. Solar flares. I'm seeing an increase in solar flare activity as well. Earthquakes. I'm feeling a large earthquake in east of the Indian Ocean is where I was drawn to. And then South America and Mexico need to be on alert for a large earthquake as well. And Spirit's bringing to mind the Haiti quake right now. I'm feeling this is just a reference point, but I did want to mention that as well. So now I'm going to shift the focus. Oh, okay. Spirit's reminded me to talk about digital currency. I feel like there is a plan from the powers that were or powers that want to be that are no longer going to be in bringing a digital currency to the world, like a one world currency. I feel like that's going to take some time. I feel like we can still shift that, but I feel like that's what Bitcoin and some of these others are meant to do, is kind of get people used to this. So I still feel an up and down with Bitcoin and Ethereum. It feels like an up and down roller coaster with that. I'm getting the same with the stock market, up and down. I'm not seeing a huge crash for July, and I'm not seeing a drop in the real estate market quite yet either. I feel like that comes later. Again, listen to your own guidance, listen to your own intuition with buying and selling real estate. All right, so now I want to shift to the energy around the month of July. And Spirit gave 3 words for the month of July, and I want to talk about those. The first word was revelation. And, many people feel like we are in the end times, or the times of that were spoken about or prophesied about in the book of Revelation. And, I feel like it is just a complete dismantling of the old paradigm and a rebirthing of the new. And so many times it does feel like earth ending scenarios. And I do feel a lot of people will be choosing to make their transition during these years to come. But part of the revelation that Spirit was showing me is truths being revealed. And when we look at things on a macrocosm, which is the collective, and then a microcosm, which is us individually, a lot of times there's mirrors there. So when we see truths being revealed with public figures, and we're seeing that. We're seeing it more and more, but we're also seeing that in our own lives. And what Spirit has shown me is that if someone is not in alignment with us energetically, that is going to be revealed. And there's a dismantling of many different relationships as well. And so it can be quite painful when we have these relationships that have been with us, whether it's family, friends, lovers, spouses, colleagues, that are going away. when we think about the earth shaking, and people are going to be pulled from our lives, and allow yourself time to grieve. I almost everyone is going through this in some way or another right now. What Spirit said to me as well is, if someone is in our lives that is taking too much of our life force energy, they are going to be removed energetically or physically or whatever it takes from our lives, so that we can replenish ourselves and be available for our own full force of life force energy moving forward, because it's so important during these times of evolution and revolution that we are filled up ourselves, because we must help ourselves first before we can show up and help other people. So the first word that Spirit gave me was revelations, mainly truths being revealed. The next one is a rejuvenation and also resurgence. And so I was shown like the phoenix rising, and again, we can witness a lot of that going on right now. Just it seems like things are being burned down and dismantled, and a lot of destructive energy, but at the same time, out of the ashes the phoenix rises, and we are each giving the opportunity right now to rise from the ashes of our own worlds, in many ways being dismantled and falling apart in so many different ways. And it's uncomfortable for sure, but don't forget to hold on to that phoenix rising and know that we chose to be here during these times. And then the last word that Spirit gave me was realignment. And again, the energy of July is giving us an opportunity to realign our own energy and ask ourselves what we want. What do we want out of community? What do we want out of our relationships? What do we want our joy to be? What do we want our hobbies to be? And it's time to realign our energy to that. Our spirit guides are waiting for us to let them know what our wishes are. And that's very different than it was for so many years. So discernment is key. I'm going to start bringing this month to a close, but let me just say that if I can offer any piece of advice, it is this: please learn to tune into your own intuition. It's vital. It's a non-negotiable, because if we don't tune into our own knowing, our own intuition, then we are going to miss the signs from the universe. We're going to miss the signs from our spirit guides. And sometimes we're going to follow others down a rabbit hole that is not going to serve our highest and best good. Discernment is key, and part of intuitive development is learning that discernment, learning when something is coming in from our ego, and learning whether something's coming in from our higher self and our spirit guides. And sometimes it's very challenging to determine the two. Sometimes it's very subtle, the differences. So learn to tune into that intuition, find your community. And I always like to end these with 3 tarot cards. Sometimes Spirit gives more than 3, just to kind of finalize the message for the month of July. And Spirit's asking me to say something else right now. On a spiritual level, I do understand that Humpty Dumpty's had a purpose to bring chaos, to help dismantle the old paradigm. However, in my opinion, energetically, he is not someone that we put on a pedestal. He is not someone that karmically has not brought a lot of karma to his life. Oh, and speaking of that, again, I see his life force declining. I see health challenges around him. I feel in the next, and I thought it would be before now, and timing is difficult sometimes when I tune into his energy. I don't see him in the big picture influencing things much longer. So I'm just gonna say that his health is declining. I also see danger around him as well. So I'm gonna ask Spirit to give us. Okay. Okay, so the first card is the Four of Swords. And this is what a lot of us are feeling right now, kind of anxious, depressed, feeling low in our energy. It's really important to, if you're able to, give yourself time for naps and recharging, and please stay hydrated. So many of us are dehydrated. So allow yourself to feel the energy that you're feeling without staying anchored in that energy. And then we get the Hanged Man too. It feels like, in a lot of ways, we feel like our hands are tied and we feel powerless to make change. But the message here is we are not powerless, we are empowered. And one person can make a difference. Each one of us individually can make a difference with the collective. So it's so important that we don't give up, that we know change is coming, and that we anchor our energy for that change. And then the last one is 10 of Pentacles. And what I'm getting with this message is, even though it seems like those who are offering themselves in service to humanity are having financial challenges right now, and a lot of times the way that you've earned a living is changing and shifting, just know that we will be provided for. Light workers, star seeds, the abundance is shifting. The abundance is shifting away from those who have greed in their heart and shifting towards those who are wanting to share with others and wanting to share their resources with all of humanity. So I do see that shifting as well. As always, please offer your comments below. Let me know how you're doing in this energy. And I truly appreciate each one of you supporting this channel. With all honesty, it's challenging sometimes to continue doing this work for holding space. And especially when you do receive visions like I do, that are not pleasant, and then you struggle with, what do I share and what do I not share, and knowing we can shift this. So, please just keep shining that light. Keep shining your light and knowing that it's rippling out to the collective, and to send so much love and so much energy to each one of you. And until next time, namaste.